You know the classic framework for expository preaching? Observation, interpretation, application, read the text, explain the text, apply the text. Most of us were taught to structure our sermons this way, to walk through a passage and land application at the very end. That's solid preaching. I'm not here to tear any of that down. But here's what happens when we only do that. Now think about your congregation on a Sunday morning. You're walking through a text, explaining background, unpacking meaning, drawing connections. Every new insight gets loaded into their memory bank. And like RAM on a computer, human memory has a limit. By the time you get to the application at the end, some of them have already started deleting. The connection they needed between your explanation and their Monday morning, it's gone. The information was good, the structure was solid, but they left holding pieces instead of a picture. So here's the analogy, the jigsaw puzzle analogy that reframed this all for me. Imagine that you're doing a jigsaw puzzle and you're doing it on live stream. So you've got the puzzle on the table, a box of pieces to the side, and you're looking into the camera, walking your audience through the process. There are 3 moves that you make constantly, right? Move number 1, what do we see? You hold up a piece. This is a dark piece with some light specks in it. Move number 2, what does it mean? You analyze it. This is probably part of the Dalmatian in the upper left-hand corner. And then move number 3, how does it fit? You switch cameras. You show the actual puzzle. You put the piece into the puzzle. The audience sees where it goes. The picture gets clearer. In preaching, moves 1 and 2 are what we mostly do. We pull pieces out, we explain them, observation, interpretation. But move number 3 requires something different. It requires switching cameras, stepping away from the box, showing your people the puzzle, not just classic application at the end, picture painting woven throughout. And it's the move most of us aren't making nearly enough. And I was giving feedback to our teaching pastor a few months ago. He had preached a genuinely excellent sermon, rich content, well-structured, strong conclusion. But as I listened back, I noticed something. There were these moments, real breakthrough moments, where the congregation connected with his words, and instead of switching camera angles, he just kept going, kept explaining, kept adding pieces to the puzzle. The audience was ready to see the puzzle with their own eyes, and he gave them more pieces instead. And when I described it to him this way, the puzzle, the camera angles, it immediately clicked, not as a criticism, but as a tool. So practically, how do you add camera angle number 3 to your sermons? Let me give you 3 steps. Step number 1, find the exhale moments. There are moments in your sermon where you've made a point that lands, where your audience would nod or whisper yes or react audibly. That emotional response is your cue. It means they've connected. This is the exact moment to switch camera angles. Most of us feel that moment and think, okay, they're with me, let's keep going. But the instinct should be the opposite. They're with you, so show them the whole puzzle before you move on, because the moment of connection is the window and it closes fast. And then step number 2, paint a picture, not merely a principle. This is the most important part. Switching camera angles does not mean giving traditional application points. So, like, make sure you're spending time in God's Word. That's still explanation. It's a principle dressed up as application. Camera angle number 3 means painting a concrete, visual, specific picture of what this truth looks like in someone's actual life. Let's say you've made a powerful point about prayer as a relationship, not a ritual. Camera angles 1 and 2 only would address it somehow like this. We need to make sure we're prioritizing relational prayer in our lives. Camera angle number 3 would say, what if this week, instead of just starting your prayer time with a list, you sat with Jesus for a minute, put on some music, went for a walk, and you were just with him, not to get through your requests, but to be in a room with him, the way you'd sit on a couch next to someone you love and not say a word. Right? It's the same truth, but a completely different experience. One gives them a concept, the other gives them an image for their Tuesday morning. And then step number 3 is keep it short and specific. This is not the place for a 10-minute illustration. The camera angle switch should be brief, 30 seconds to a minute, just enough to give them something to hold on to, then move forward. Think of it like a film editor cutting to the reaction shot. It doesn't stop the story, it deepens it. There's a related skill worth naming. Every minute you spend giving context your audience doesn't need is a minute you didn't use to paint a picture they did need. This is one of the most common patterns I see in really good preachers. They're so excited about the richness of the text that they want to share all of it, and the material is good. But if the audience is spending energy trying to hold all that context in their heads, they have less capacity left for the picture you want them to carry home. The goal isn't a shallow sermon. It's a sermon that feels simple while carrying real depth. And you get there by ruthlessly protecting space for picture painting throughout, not just at the end. So here's my challenge. Go back and listen to your last sermon with one question in mind. When were the moments my audience exhaled? And did I switch camera angles there, or did I just keep explaining? These exhale moments are your opportunities. You probably have 2 or 3 of them in every message you're walking right past. You don't have to rebuild your sermon structure. You don't have to train yourself to do anything crazy. Just pause at the right moments, shift cameras, and show them the puzzle. That one move, practiced consistently, will make you a noticeably better communicator. If this was helpful, I put together a free course at storyform.church that goes deeper into techniques like this, specifically how story structure and narrative tools can help you preach with more clarity and more impact. Links in the description. And if you've got a friend who preaches, send them this video. The more pastors thinking about this stuff, the better. I'll see you in the next one.